don't dress like you think they do. They aren't buying Gucci belts, Saint Laurent bags, or Versace robes. The middle class is. Take a look at these 3 bags. 2 are from Walmart and 1 is from Louis Vuitton. Can
2 are from Walmart. That looks like a Birkin bag.
you tell which one is the luxury brand? Sure, it's easy when the LV logo is plastic
Damn, Walmart's completely ripped off
all
Birkins.
over it, but I lied. One of those other bags isn't from Walmart. It's actually a Birkin worth
Yeah, I thought so. That's like a $40,000 bag.
over $30,000.
Mm.
Mainstream luxury fashion brands have trained us to believe that branding is everything, when in reality, most high-end products
I feel like everyone knows what a Hermes Birkin bag is, though. They're like the most expensive bag you can get. So funny. But it is true, though. Like actually wealthy people aren't really, they normally buy quality, not branded stuff.
are really only status symbols for those that can't afford it.
I would not spend 40 grand on a bag, chap.
Real luxury hides in plain sight. If you've seen the show Succession, you're probably aware of how one character's featureless $625 cashmere hat helped popularize conversations regarding stealth wealth.
You have no idea of what,
While
sorry?
famous movie stars are often pictured in the regular designer brands that you've heard of, like Gucci and Balenciaga, many times they're paid to advertise it. The truly
Oh,
rich
shit.
that aren't constantly in the spotlight have an entirely different kind of wardrobe,
I would not put that on
one
my
based
wish
around
list.
minimalism, quality,
Cutie.
and fit. For example, those plain gray t-shirts that Mark Zuckerberg wears, they are $400 custom made from Brunello Cucinelli, yet to most people, it looks like it could be from Target.
Yeah, I was going to say,
In
what?
fact, when the truly rich do wear traditional luxury brands such as Prada and Valentino, they have access to exclusive designs that hide their branding. When most people think of luxury items, they're often reminded of brands that have strong advertising and a recognizable logo or design.
I feel like I've known that for a while, though. Like, I feel like you just buy because you like the brand. It's not necessarily to try and look wealthy.
Whether that be a Rolex watch, a
I'm curious of the
Lamborghini
quality, though.
sports car, or Gucci flip-flops, they're all easily identifiable as luxurious. While billions of advertising dollars have been spent to ingrain that message into your mind, often they aren't the pinnacle of quality by any means. They are simply highly regarded as a status symbol. Like many other animals on Earth, we place value on status symbols as they can project value upon ourselves.
I want to know what the
Male
actual quality
peacocks
behind
use
it
their
is.
colorful feathers to attract a mate. Penguins collect pebbles to prove their worth, and
Wait,
us
Pebbles. What?
humans purchase douchey luxury goods. It's all the same. Status symbols merely attempt to prove that their owner is valuable. The reason we don't see the ultra-rich like Jeff Bezos dripped out in Gucci is because we all know he's rich. He doesn't need to prove it.
I feel like a well-fitted suit, though, is what looks wealthy with them.
However, when you see your neighbor or coworker wearing a new designer outfit, you immediately begin to wonder about how they are able to afford it. Turns out, a lot of the time, they can't.
Well, they just had a trip to Thailand.
What'd you wear? Huh? Why'd you dress like that?
Oh, I
Like
never finished
that.
this. Hey, Antoine. How are you?
What's you wearing? You look poor.
In places with great
China,
income
yeah. There's so much
inequality,
fakes now,
those
though.
people with lower incomes live under significant social stress. Their lower position in the social hierarchy is more obvious and more consequential. In response, some people purchase the kinds of goods that create the impression that they have money
The other thing, though, if you ever have like a designer bag or anything like that with branding, you actually get ripped off more at places because people assume then that you have money and you get ripped off.
to spare, even when they don't. Researchers examined Google search trends across the US and found that people in states with relatively high income inequality were more likely to search for luxury brands than those in other states. You can actually map this correlation, and you can see searches for luxurious brands like
Did you
Ralph
like it,
Lauren
Godawall?
or items like fur vests had the same breakdown as did the map of income inequality. Despite what we think, that common luxury items are only purchased by the rich, it's actually the lower and middle class consumers that account for nearly
Interesting.
half
Have you ever
of
bought
the
designer,
luxury
chap?
goods market globally. People like to criticize those that overspend, yet they don't realize why people do it in the first place. For example, overpriced Air Jordan sneakers are popular amongst young African American men, including those from poor neighborhoods. Despite the fact that purchasing them might cause more financial stress, for many it's considered a necessity. Critics of spending above your means on luxury items often fail to recognize the underlying effect that these luxury goods can have. For some, Their status in society is insecure. Many people who are low income can't afford to appear like they are low
£7.
income.
It's a good movie.
It's hard to attract a romantic partner if you look like a broke loser.
But I feel like I've said this all the time that you do not need designer to dress nice. I think maybe when it comes to like certain things, that's when you hire dresses and whatnot. But just because it's designer doesn't mean it looks good. I feel like that's when you see people decked out with all like the symbol designer. It doesn't even look that good. Like a little bit of like branding here and there, it's fine. But yeah.
And good luck getting a good job if you show up at an interview looking like someone who's never had a good job before. The most obvious proof that these luxury items act as a necessary status symbol for the middle class
But if you like a brand,
is the sheer number
like
of
a brand.
counterfeits that exist. From New York's Canal Street to China's AliExpress, you'll find
I'm sorry, but what the fuck are those shoes?
exist. From New York's Canal Street to China's
What is this?
AliExpress, you'll find no shortage of logo-riddled items. Their quality is usually subpar at best, yet its demand continues to grow. The more extreme income inequality becomes, the more pressure people feel to create the
Are they
impression
Yeezys?
that they are succeeding. When the COVID pandemic shut down nearly everything, it caused many middle-class folks to lose their jobs.
Hang on, chat. I'm going to have to get Luna. She's crying. Now you've lost privileges. Look at Harlow. Harlow's a little thing and she's going to sleep. I don't think, yeah, she knows it's bedtime. You gotta go to bed too. Okay, no more crying. Go to sleep, okay? Can't sleep with them. Don't want you. Can't handle the fact that like when dad goes to bed, she has to go to bed here. She just wants to. Yeah, I know. Come on, Lynn. Come on. Oh, you rattle. That must have hurt. She's fine. She just cries because she wants to sleep with mum, and they can't have her in the room because they already got the two other dogs. So she cries.
And place significant financial strain on the entire world. You'd think luxury spending would crash during a time of global financial uncertainty, yet the exact opposite happened.
Really?
Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton, LVMH for short, is the French conglomerate that owns many brands such as Tiffany and Dior. Oddly enough, the last few years has been an incredible growth period for LVMH.
That's actually really interesting.
Its market cap at one point crossed over $500 billion, and Bernard Arnault, CEO of LVMH, became the richest person alive with a net worth over $200 billion.
Jesus.
There's not a singular reason why this happened, but experts point to a few key findings that help tell the story. For one, studies continue to prove that income inequality causes both the rich to consume more luxury goods as they can afford to, but also that poorer individuals similarly consume more as a means to present themselves as successful. Governments across the world also gave out stimulus checks during this period,
No way.
and many people used it to buy luxury items. Perhaps
That's so bad.
just because they didn't know what else to use it for, but studies show it's indicative of a cultural shift regarding how we view luxury. A study from Bain found that
I feel like just buy fake at that point though. Like if you generally don't have a lot of money, why would you buy real designer? Just go buy fake designer. It's like everywhere. I feel like the fakes are so good now that like who's even gonna know? Hey Stars, thank you very much for the Prime Service for 2 months. Thank you. It would be so good. Like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah.
Gen Z consumers are starting to buy luxury items some 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, but fakes are like, they might be illegal, but they're so everywhere. Like they're so easily accessible that I'm like, they're not really illegal. Like you can get them on a holiday. You can get them just about anywhere. And like, I wouldn't feel too bad about ripping off like they're billion-dollar companies.
Earlier than millennials, at 15 years old versus around 18 to 20. Gone are the days where luxury items were exclusively for the rich. Now, it's merely a savings goal for younger generations to eventually purchase these items. Buy now, pay later platforms like Afterpay
You would
and
not steal a
luxury
car? I don't know though. As they get older and you see just how much money some of these like companies have. Like that guy's richer than Jeff Bezos now. Like it's kind of like, you really steal. Like I understand about smaller brands, but when they're like these multi-trillion-dollar companies, I don't really care too much, to be honest. Like, GG get clapped.
Sale sites like The RealReal offer even more ways for those financially insecure to partake in this illusion.
People have babies with no money all the time. And if you're so worried about it, why don't you stop buying
I
designer
don't think
clothes,
they'd
huh?
notice.
I buy everything on eBay. It doesn't count when you're wearing Marc Jacobs from Minneapolis.
As younger generations increase their consumption of luxury goods, these products lose their value as a means to signal wealth. Even in The Simpsons, what was supposed to be a cartoon about a lower middle class family has now done a collaboration with Balenciaga. It's clear that mainstream
not
luxury fashion
Balenciaga.
brands have begun shifting away from targeting the rich and instead towards advertising to the
Interesting.
middle class. To
God,
rationalize
Balenciaga
their
will brand.
expensive
See,
price
luxury, I
relative
don't
to
think luxury brands are bad. I think there's some like if there's like a bag or something you really want, save up for it for like a long time as long as it's like financially viable or a big thing in your life's happened. Buy that one bag that I think buy a timeless piece, something you've wanted for like a very, very long time. That's what they tell you. Something that isn't like got something timeless that will last forever. Get that, but don't get like all these like short-lived luxury type of items that are just like trends.
quality. These luxury brands are careful to thread the needle between growth and scarcity.
But it doesn't mean you know
Many
how to
companies
dress.
do limited production runs or
See, I'd never buy that.
even destroy their excess inventory to create scarcity. Luxury fashion items have some of the highest margins across all industries, and they keep it that way through projecting a false sense of exclusivity. The idea that luxury has been diluted by the middle class has resurfaced many discussions regarding two
Well, I think it's true though, because I feel like I look at Gucci and I don't look at Gucci as an expensive brand now. I look at Gucci as, and like especially Louis Vuitton, and this is no hate if you have it. I think they still have nice stuff, but I kind of look at Gucci and Louis Vuitton maybe a bit tainted because of how many people have fakes of it, that it's almost like, I don't know, just everybody has it. I wouldn't even see it as a luxury brand.
so-called factions of wealth: old money and new money. Old money would be someone like a member of the Walton family who famously founded Walmart, and new money would be someone like your uncle who apparently made millions buying Bitcoin. Being old money suggests a kind of generational familiarity to wealth that doesn't require someone to show it off, compared to new money, which suggests someone didn't grow up rich and has a need or desire to project their newfound wealth.
Some of it's
This
good
tension
quality.
between old money and new money has existed forever, perhaps most famously explored in F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. Social media, especially since the show's succession, seems to have
No, I'm
really
visiting
obsessed
family
over
at
the
the
idea
moment.
that old money is classy and new money is trashy, especially when it comes to how they dress. In the show, when luxury items were worn, they weren't from brands you probably ever heard of, and besides looking well fit and of high quality, they weren't
You may as well
anything
just
unique.
get tailored fit at that
They
point.
are ridiculously expensive, but only other rich people would know. The show clearly suggests that old money has quiet luxury and new money lacks subtlety.
Oh, Pa, and everyone's laughing up their sleeves about your date.
What? Why?
Why? Because she's brought a ludicrously capacious bag.
What?
What's even in there? Huh?
When we think of
Surely
mainstream
people don't
luxury
talk like
brands,
that.
the first thing that comes to mind is often clothing that has its logo plastered all over it, but most fashion brands such as Ralph Lauren or Gucci typically also have a secondary sub-brand or style that lacks any obvious signs of branding, while also being higher quality
Really? Didn't know this.
and more expensive. It's kind of like how tech subscriptions have evolved. You can use the cheaper version with ads, or pay for premium and get a higher
never
quality
seen it, Migui.
ad-free experience.
I have to add it
Funny
to the
enough,
list.
an entire fashion subculture has now emerged that tries to emulate the old money aesthetic on a
Yeah,
budget,
I was gonna say
which
this
really
is
just
me.
seems to be fashion designs like this. Companies like Zara and H&M have capitalized on this trend, and although to some extent this is just another way of projecting a false sense of status, at least it can be far less expensive
on
and not
Hinge.
nearly
Oh,
as
wait.
obnoxious. It
It's
goes
on a dating app, huh?
without saying that not everyone that purchases
Might have to
flashy
get Hinge
luxury
again,
items
chat.
are insecure posers. Some just really like the brand, and that's perfectly fine. Advertising and social media has effectively allowed brands to communicate unique identities around their products, and there's enough variety for everyone to find something they like. There isn't anything inherently wrong with saving up to purchase a luxury item. Often, people do it as a gift to themselves to celebrate an achievement.
Yeah,
The
that's where I
problem
think it's good.
arises when these are used as a tool to project status, especially during times of economic hardship. While owning a home has become out of reach for many in the middle class, luxury consumption for the same
I think this could also be a reason why people might be spending more money on luxury items as houses become more like unattainable for most people. They go, well, fuck it. There's no point saving for a house because I'm never going to be able to afford one. So instead they're like, well, let's spend my money, my paychecks on designer and all these other things because they're like, they're not buying houses. That's probably actually another reason of why.
Demographic continues to go up. While some may say it's our own fault as our priorities have shifted, perhaps regular folks have merely given up on what used to be attainable, and these luxury brands have done a better job of capitalizing on our insecurities.
Gotta look rich,
So
chat.
the next time you find yourself wanting to splurge on a luxury brand, question the reason you have that desire in the first place. Is it because you actually really like it and think it provides a lot of value per dollar? Or is it something more? Who are you really buying it for? Yourself? Or so that others can see you owning it?
Very